In this video, we're going to be discussing a recent client purchase. We're going to be breaking down the purchase price, the yield, the value add potential, and why we chose this property for our client in these circumstances. I like to discuss recent client purchases every 1 to 2 months to give you a taste of what we do at Purpose Property and to help you understand my thinking and the thought process we go through with clients in helping them secure the right property for the right price in the right location. So if you're interested in sitting down and having a chat with myself, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free session. And if you stick around to the end of today's video, I will reveal to you the specific address of this property so you can go and look at it yourself. Now, let me tell you a little bit about our client and this brief for the property purchase. Now, Sammy, he's an investor. He's a fella from the Gold Coast who's looking to grow his property portfolio. He'd already done some significant investments himself, but decided to reach out to myself and the team to help him secure an investment property here in Southeast Queensland. He was looking for a property that he could add some value to by doing some cosmetic renovations and sprucing up the home. He was also looking for a larger block with strong land value in terms of the long-term growth potential. And in addition to all of that, he was looking for cash flow opportunity. So ideally being able to add or have a pre-existing granny flat on the property to boost the cash flows, given that most people are paying between 6 to 8% in terms of interest rates at this point in time. And I think with this deal, we ticked pretty much all of his major boxes, and he was very excited to secure this home. So let's break it down and take a look at some of the photos. As you can see on screen here, the front facade is a little bit tired. There's bird poo all over the solar panels. There's flaking paint on the garage on the left-hand side. The house is a bit tired. You can see it's got potential, but it needs a little bit of work. Now, when we walked through this home, I went through myself and we took a look and looked at the value potential that we could see. And you'll see this in a sec, that the home did need some sprucing up, but there was the opportunity to increase the value, increase the rent, and potentially refinance down the track. As you can see inside, it's not the best presented home. The current tenants here had a few animals. They had birds throughout the property, some dogs. The shaggy carpet needs replacing, but with a paint job and some basic carpet upgrades, this home could present a lot better. And this would be better from a valuation point of view, as well as better from a tenant's perspective. You can see the kitchen here is also very basic. Green laminate countertops, timber veneer, cupboards, basic oven, electric oven, no vent at the top. There's not much room for upper cupboards here. They could put plenty of upper cupboards or storage space above. So again, Sam is one of those guys that's willing to get stuck in, and he could add significant value to this kitchen by, if he wanted to, painting, using laminate paint and turning those bench tops from green into a monument or a charcoal, a black. He could change the handles on all the cupboards or even leave those at this point in time and spend some money on overhead cupboards and maybe upgrading with a range hood and a new oven. So there's different ways you can add value to a property for not a significant cost. If you're going to gut out the full kitchen, that would be a more expensive endeavor. But for a rental property, sprucing it up, adding some extra amenity by adding those overhead cupboards and a range hood and things like that will get you the biggest bang for your buck. You can see some of the bedrooms had a little bit of movement in the ceilings. There's a bit of a divot there in the ceiling, but it had air cons in place. It needs some new blinds and some new carpet. But with just the basics of maybe a ceiling fan with a light, new paint and new carpet, these rooms would be ready to go. Similar in the other bedrooms, there was good space throughout this home, but again, it just needs a spruce up to make it ready for new tenants. Now, the bathroom was a little bit pokey in this property. It was a different layout, but as you can see in this space, it was not really very usable. You currently walk in through to the toilet. You've got a little vanity and basin section here, but this is using up quite a lot of the floor plan with all these nooks and crannies to walk around the bathroom area and to walk around the bedrooms. Now, there was a bonus space underneath the home. This is not legal living area. So you can see they do have a bed down here. This is not a very well presented space in my opinion, but these areas are great for people to use as storage, home gyms or offices. So it's certainly usable multi-purpose space, but generally not living space at all. You should have a 2.4 meter high ceiling. It should be insulated. It should be sheeted. So for me, definitely not a bedroom, but great from a storage point of view or a multi-purpose utility point of view. Before I move on, you can also see these beautiful floors upstairs. So these look like pine floors throughout, and they're going to be quite reasonable in terms of wear and tear. You can lacquer them and you can spruce them up. As you saw, a lot of the rooms had carpets. So if Sam was wanting to do some floor sanding, he could have the living and hallway areas with floor sanding, do new carpets in the bedrooms, and that's a great way to spruce up a home for, again, not a lot of cost. This is a shot of the backyard. Now you can see a shot of the back fence here. There's actually a granny flat over this roof line. So this property came with a granny flat as well, and that's why you'll be amazed to see the yield as we go through the numbers at the end. But out the back here, again, it just needs to be cleared up. It's an electric hot water heater. The deck's been built in a little bit. It's some basic, it needs, again, some TLC, but nothing crash hot here. Perfect for an investor or a rental property for someone because it's low maintenance. There's not a lot of work involved, and it's got some bonus storage space under here as well. This is a shot of the granny flat area, so massive amount of space. And long term, Sam could potentially look at moving the granny flat off the site and potentially subdividing because he's got such a big block here. You can see that the granny flat's positioned away from the front home, facing out towards the backyard, which is one of the best ways to do the battle axe style of granny flat. You want to make it feel like it's already been subdivided, even though it may not have been subdivided in reality. But when you add granny flats in, you want it to feel like the subdivision for both tenants. This is a shot of the granny flat. You can see it's basically brand new. It's only a few years old. It's got a new kitchen. It's got the insulated panel ceilings, new laminate vinyl floors, white throughout, which is exactly what you want in an investment property. It's got the basic ceiling fans, some lights, some blinds, again, basic flooring. So this is a little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom granny flat, and it is going to present really well to tenants over the long term. Let me reveal to you exactly where this property is. This property is located at 28 Laurel Street in Red Bank Plains, which is actually in Ipswich City Council. If you take a look at the map on screen, you can see Brisbane where my cursor is. Now roughly 25 kilometres as the crow flies, you have Red Bank Plains. If you look at the satellite view, you can see there are some areas in Red Bank Plains that are being subdivided. But these blocks are generally on 350 to 400 square metres. Yes, they're going to be newer houses, but they're on those tiny little lots. Whereas Sam was able to pick up a 1,000 square metre block with 5-bed, 3-bath, 4 car spaces, and he purchased it for $730,000 with our help. Now this property was a little bit of a doozy. We had some issues in securing the property through the broking network, and we had some issues with the tenants in terms of getting access due to dogs on site. Now, lots of people have dogs, and this is generally not an issue, but one of the dogs living on the back property was quite aggressive. So that meant going through the home in terms of inspecting and doing our building and pest inspections and making sure we were comfortable with the structure was a little bit of an issue. We also had an issue with one of the valuations because we had an old school valuer come out to the property and say, no, I'm not happy with the engineering on the front home. There was some settlement cracks in the front home. It's a high set, 3-bed, 1-bathroom home. And what that meant was that the valuer wasn't happy with the property, and we needed to go through an entire process with an engineer, with a building and pest inspection to get the bank comfortable about that purchase. Now, from our point of view and from our building and pest inspector's point of view, the home had just had settlement cracking. You generally have cracking in concrete slabs. It's very common. As long as you don't have major settlement, so the property's not dropped away, 10, 20 centimeters. If the property moves a few centimeters and you end up with some cracking in the plasterboard, that is very common in most homes. We've just gone through a massive raise and build project, and we're getting some settlement cracks in our plasterwork that was done a few months ago. It's just part of a raised home, and if it's been like that for 30, 40 years, it's unlikely to continue sinking or continue moving significantly if the property's been like that for a long period of time. So with lots and lots of conversations between Sam and myself, both he and I were able to get comfortable around the numbers on this purchase. Now, as you saw, he purchased the property for $730,000, and that was the house and the granny flat on a 1,000 square meter block in Red Bank Plains and no flood overlay. It was a massive win. We saw lots of potential in the home. Yes, it was a pain to go through the process of doing our engineering and building and pest reports and things like that. But from Sam and my point of view, after looking at the numbers and committing to the purchase, we were ready to push through and get the deal done, which is what we did. Now, what does the rental yield look like for this type of property? So Sam's looking at actually moving the front tenants on and giving the whole front home a big clean up. He's going to do new carpets throughout the bedrooms, maybe spruce up the kitchen like we spoke about, add some value through doing some minor cosmetic renovations. He's going to be looking at doing a lot of that work himself or with some tradie mates to keep the costs low and get the maximum benefit. What this means is he's likely to achieve around that $1,000 per week for the property, including the house and granny flat. This could even be upwards of $1,100 or $1,200 per week if he's able to achieve that with new tenants in each of those properties. And if you wanted to be super conservative, you could look at around $900 per week for each of the properties. As you can see on screen, we've got the front house and the granny flat. Based on current rental rates, once the front home's cleaned up, you're probably looking at around $550 per week, up to $600 for the front home. And the granny flat will get somewhere between $400 to $450 per week in its current state. If you take conservative numbers and you look at $500 per week for the front house and $400 for the back house, you're getting $900 per week in terms of rent. If you got $600 for the front house and $450 for the back house, you might get $1,050 per week. And over time, these rents will slowly increase with the market. Before I wrap this video up, the other major thing I wanted to discuss is rebuild value. Now, what we're looking at when it comes to building is a lot of builders going bust. Across Australia, builders are going broke, they're shutting up shop, and this means there's less trades and less builders out there creating new dwellings and renovating and adding new properties to Australia's market. It's also very intensive for developers to create new land and for builders to create new stock. It takes years for this supply to come through. Now, with this property that Sam's bought, he's got significant rebuild value. The cost to rebuild that front house, even though it's a basic 3-bed, 1-bathroom high set, would be at least $200,000 to $250,000. And the granny flat, in terms of rebuilding that property as is in today's market, would at least, again, be $200,000. On top of that, he's got a 1,000 square meter block without the flood overlay. And so that, in addition, is probably worth around that $400,000 to $500,000. So if you do the math and you look at $400,000 worth of land, $200,000 worth of house, $200,000 worth of granny flat, he's upwards of $800,000 to $850,000 in terms of rebuild value. And we've been able to pick this property up for $730,000 with leases in place on the front house and the back granny flat. What this means is he's got significant rebuild value built into these properties. For him to rebuild the front house or granny flat would be far more expensive than what he actually paid for the properties. He's going to be able to claim some depreciation on the granny flat, even though it's not brand new, it's only a couple of years old, so there's still some depreciation left in it. And the renovations he does to the front house is not only going to increase the rent, it's going to increase the value, and he's going to be able to claim depreciation on the works he's done there as well. So this is one of those properties where it has multiple stacking strategies. It's a great entry price point for a high yield, which is great in today's environment, especially for Sam's strategy. And after a lot of stress throughout that buying process, he was able to get the deal done. And I think he's very excited and happy with the property that he ended up securing. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Is this a great type of property investment, or is this a bust, depending on your thoughts? And if you want to see a full playlist of Brisbane client purchase examples of us helping people secure their own home or an investment property here in Southeast Queensland, make sure you click this playlist over here. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.